Critically acclaimed film Thina Sobabili hit theatres this past weekend and has received rave reviews internationally and nationally. My name is Naklono Mafu and you're watching News 24 Live. I'm joined on the line by Ernest Nkosi, who is the director of Thina Sobabili. We're going to find out a little bit more about this wonderful film and what you can expect at theatres. Ernest, thank you so much for joining us at News 24 Live. So, congratulations on your premiere of Thina Sobabili. How has the reception been thus far with your launch this weekend?
The reception has been extremely overwhelming, from the amount of people that have changed their Facebook profile pictures to our poster, to the reviews we've been getting. I mean, now I'm on News 24. Imagine. So it's been going really well.
Fantastic. Well, the story is one that, a lot of households and townships can resonate with. Tell us, what is it that motivated the start of Thina Sobabili, and can you just take us through the journey of the movie?
Oh, fantastic. The story began 4 years ago. We needed to raise about 2 million bucks to be able to make it after numerous proposals to so many different places, that proved a lot easier to raise the money ourselves. The inspiration came from the communities we're working with. So we do a lot of financial literacy films for kids in peri-urban areas, and these are some of the stories that they kept coming and saying, "Why don't you guys make any movies about us, stories about us?" And the sugar daddy phenomenon came out quite strong, and we found a girl. She was 19 years old, dating a dude that was 55. So that's a character of Zanel is loosely based on her.
So, you mentioned that there are a number of themes that you wanted to deal with in this film, such as the sugar daddy phenomenon, child-headed households. What kind of sensitivity and kind of research did you have to do in order to really grapple with these kind of topics?
Well, I don't know if this is an unfortunate or a lucky thing, that the thing is so, sugar daddies essentially are so out there in the open that researching it was a lot easier than I thought, actually. And also growing up in a township like Katno, where you're constantly aware of what's going on, you're aware of the surrounding your rail, who's getting picked up by the fancy car in exchange for groceries, that type of stuff. So it was just easy to tell that story, a story that you grew up around and you grew up seeing and you grew up witnessing. So researching that wasn't difficult at all.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I can understand, it took a while to really get into building this narrative. And you collaborate with a number of young artists and actors. And how was that whole process of bringing in different perspectives on these different narratives? I mean, not everyone is from Alex, but I'm sure there must have been something that they brought in. How was that?
I think that was probably the biggest highlight of the entire experience, because you have a group of unknown actors with an unknown production team and director who's all trying to make a name for themselves. So it was, everybody was giving their best every single day, every single opportunity to make something that could A, stand out amongst everything else, and then stand out for their names and for the work that they're passionate about doing. I mean, four of our actors now have been cast on, since our release, have been cast on SA's major shows. I can't reveal some of them, but some of them are going to be on Mzansi pretty soon. And that's all based on the work they put in the feature film.
Absolutely, that sounds incredible. Now, I do understand that the film has been showcased in a number of international festivals and won a number of accolades. Could you tell us what has been the difference in terms of an international audience watching the story and your South Africans watching it? Has there been a different response?
Oh, yes. Well, the response, actually, let me start by saying just Saturday, we just won another award for Best Picture at the Rwanda International Film Festival. Out of
Congratulations.
240 films that they had there, they had eight African films and the rest were European. So to win Best Feature there was pretty amazing. And
Fantastic.
and the reactions overseas have been more poignant than here, because unfortunately when you're in South Africa, you have to do big internationally before you get anyone to actually even put you on News 24.
And tell me, do you find that problematic, you know, as a director? You've made this work and it's been in South Africa for a while, and only now is it kind of getting the momentum that it should have gotten. Do you think that that speaks to a South African audience and how it is that we receive our artworks?
It does speak to a South African audience because we don't trust our work unless it's been endorsed internationally, which is a big problem. So, I mean, when we promote the film, like we've been out at the malls where our films have been out, people would flat out tell you, I don't like South African films. And then when you ask them why, they tell you because, no, they don't deliver on quality, they don't deliver on story. So I guess that's a filmmaker's fight to also deliver on the promise that when people go out there, they choose to watch a South African film before they choose to watch a Hollywood film. So I guess the problem is twofold. The filmmakers need to make better stories, and the audiences need to trust South African stories.
All right. So can you tell us what sets Thina Sobabili apart, and what next can we expect for the film?
What sets Thina Sobabili apart is the story. We did not compromise on story. Like, it's the only film right now with 3 International Audience Choice Awards for story and narrative. I don't think you'll be able to find anything like that on circuit at the moment. It's also South African, that's also sets it apart. It's got a young cast, young director, young production team. Everybody's under 30, so again, that sets it apart. And I think it's South Africa's first sugar daddy story, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So those things alone set it apart.
Now tell us, how can we find out more about your projects and what you'll be getting up to?
Okay, we currently we're on Facebook, Thina Sobabili, you'll find it for all the updates, tour schedules, everything, you will find us there. Well, I guess that's it. And then we've got a few projects lined up. Another feature film coming that we're going to be shooting late January based on Musangwe. Musangwe is Venda Benako fist fighting. So it's another coming of age story. He's set in that world. So we're going to be quite busy.
All right then, thank you so much, Ernest, for speaking to us, and congratulations on such a wonderful project. And we look forward to finding out more about the work that you're doing.